everyone. Welcome to the show. My guest has been on here once before. He's an elder from Lytton, BC, Byron Spinks. Welcome back to the show, Byron.
Yes, it's good to see you again, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just wondering how you are. Just for the audience sake, Byron is an elder from Lytton, BC, and as most of everybody knows, Lytton was just basically obliterated by fire. So that was just over a year ago, right?
Yes, on June 30th, 2022. That was the big date. And now we have another fire that occurred just a week ago and on the west side of Lytton. And the same things are happening. But fortunately, only 6 homes were burnt this time, which was not good news. But on the brighter side, it could have been worse.
Right. Now, had things started to develop where they start to rebuild in the meantime?
It's a slow process, rebuilding, and we're still waiting to get back into our interim homes in Lytton. They're all set up and ready to go, but there's no power. And BC Hydro has been very busy with the west side fire because power was out, poles are burnt, and so they're trying to restore that area first before they get back to our subdivisions with the interim homes. We were scheduled to go back July 31st, but I don't see that in the picture right now. It's maybe we're looking at September now.
Well, I'm just wondering, are you nervous about going back with the fire so close?
We were concerned when we heard of the fire. We happened to be in Lytton at the time on, I think it was the 14th of July that the fire occurred, and we were just on our way up to Pasulka Lake, which is a gathering spot for our people in Lytton.
Right.
And I was up there to pick up my son, and we just seen the smoke coming up on the way up to the canyon, and I was just hoping it wasn't too close to Lytton, and I was hoping further up the river up towards Lillooet. But when I got to Lytton, it was just almost right across from the village of Lytton, so very scary. And the wind was very, very windy, and smoke was just billowing up again. This brought back memories of the June 30th fire, because we're still shaken from that experience, and we're trying to recover from that. And to see that whole incident again with the fire and smoke, we're just hoping that no homes would be lost, but unfortunately we did lose a few homes. But the response was very good locally. The EOC team came together and started taking action and preparing for to provide support to those that are being evacuated to Lillooet and Cache Creek and Kamloops. And just to me, it could have been chaos for me because I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we had staff on call that responded quickly, and local firefighters volunteered to fight the fire with what they had. And the Lytton Ferry was also out, which is not a good thing to have. Access to the west side is very limited, and you can only access it with a vehicle through Lillooet. So it's just a situation that could have gone really wrong, but with the initial action of the locals, I think that prevented it being a greater disaster.
Right. No, as we're taping this, we're due for some really, really hot temperatures. So that must be another concern, right?
Oh yes, we're in a heat warning right now in the Fraser Canyon up to Lillooet, and it's just endless cycle here, and hopefully we're prepared for it. I know the community of Lytton is preparing for it, where they're assessing the homes to make sure that they have fire guards around them, and provide a lot of education to our members, to not to be careless with smoking or cigarettes, or campfires. Campfires are banned right now in all of our reserves. So we just hope that everyone is careful and stays safe.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know Lytton is not a big place, right?
Right. It's the village itself. The population is only just under 300, but the surrounding areas, we have 5 Indigenous communities surrounding the village of Lytton, and I think there's about 3,000 people that are serviced by the village. So a lot of people have been impacted from the June 30th fire last year.
Yeah,
And even with this fire, it's continues to play, many challenges that our community faces. We're just starting to gather. Recently, we've had many good gatherings, but now that's also all up in the air because we're in the evacuation order again
right.
on another incident.
I think for people who've never experienced anything like that, it must be so difficult to try to have to be on hold, first of all, for the year to begin with, right?
Mhm.
Before anything started, and now another situation arising. I'm not quite sure how you handle it all,
Well, it's the day that you live day to day, and you can't. We used to look to the future, but the future holds frustration, and so we just live it day by day. And today's another day, and we're just happy to be here. And but it is very challenging for many of the elders that are living outside of the community in Chilliwack and Merritt and Kamloops and Abbotsford areas, because they're basically living in motels or hotels, and it's not a lifestyle to be desired, for an elder, because they're so used to being in familiar surroundings and having easy access to the resources that they need for their culture.
Of course, yeah. Again, like I said, I just want to remind people too, like the devastation last time, last year. Remember you said to me that your daughter also lived, right?
Yes.
And then you didn't know how it went for her until
yes. And this the West Side fire. Fortunately, my daughter moved from the West Side. She got a job at Kanaka First Nation, and just a couple of weeks ago, and just before the second fire came, she was in the process of moving, and she already has a place in Kanaka, but with the ferry out, all her stuff are on the west side yet, personal belongings and furniture, and it came pretty close to that subdivision. They're just north of it, and fortunately the wind was blowing north, not south, or else that subdivision would have been completely gone.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it was scary for her because she could have been there, and if she didn't get the job.
Yeah.
But she's thankful. But the other challenges that it brings is the freezers that she had filled with food with hydro down, and we had to get a generator and have those on so many hours a day to keep the food preserved and in a good state. So it continues on even to this day. We don't have an idea what time the power will be restored on that side. So, but people are banding together. Lytton First Nation has really provided a lot of good support to all the residents, and it's good to have experienced people to be there to react to any situation, any challenge that they're faced with.
Yeah, for sure. Had anything like this, or maybe not this devastating, had anything like this happened to Lytton in the past years?
Not in my lifetime. But my grandfather told me stories about floods and fire, that have come through Lytton, and they've all survived. And there's a different situation in the 1930s, for example, and in the 1800s, but it's not new to Lytton. It has happened, and we've had many people prophesize that it's going to happen again. And I didn't think it was going to happen in my lifetime, but it did. And we're just fortunate that we're all safe and in good health here. Yeah,
for sure. We all know homes can be replaced, our furniture can be replaced, the material things, but I think about, like, I don't know if you're a grandfather, but if you had, just say your grandchildren had made do some little pictures and you had them up.
Yes.
Those things that have special meaning to you can't replace those things.
All those mementos are gone, pictures, special gifts that you had received, drums, traditional gifts, they're all gone. And all we can do is restore them or try to replace them as best we can. But items like that, it can be replaced, but doesn't have the same feeling as the initial gift that you received. And my partner is an avid Connect fan, and she had a big collection of Connect souvenirs and mementos.
Right.
And that was, we had it all stored up in our home, and we're developing a place to display them in our home, and we didn't get to the point. And so that's, there's no value to that. It's just been a collection that's been accumulated over 20 years, so it's one of the big losses that we've had to endure and accept.
Well, they should be, Canuck should be providing her with a whole bunch of new.
Yeah, they should be. She's a very avid Canuck fan, and she, her family realizes that, and they've given her a lot of souvenirs and gifts to her also. That's part of the collection, and some of them are very valuable because she had a Tiger Williams jersey that was autographed and authenticated, and she held that in trust for her, with one of her favorite players in Canucks history.
Oh my goodness! I wish I knew how to reach out to them and let them know about this, because I think the club would probably be willing to give her items, I'm sure, if they thought about it, right?
Yes, but you never know. It may happen. We're just dealing with what we have to do with today, and those things that we can, we can work on as we go along. She is beginning to collect again, so that's good.
Okay, good. Well, I know, like from the way you talk, that you have a very strong community, right?
Yes, it is a very strong community, and we're people are coming together, and we have pretty good community volunteers. We've always been known to be hospitable people. We take care of our people, and we take care of other people, and now it's our turn to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to end it there. I just want to thank you again, Byron, for on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time. And to the audience, you've been listening to Byron Spinks. He's an elder from Lytton with the update about what's happening there, what's happening for his community. And just again, thank you, everybody. And be nice to everybody. Yep. My thought to everybody right now is be nice and take care, everyone. And peace out.
Thank you, Nancy.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.